recording now. Go ahead now.
Okay, looks like your Travis is working okay. You have the ability to go faster or slower, I'm sure.
Yes. We have one question before I start. Where do you normally run your fall plates? Is the same heights like when you're running from the trough?
Well, that's where I would start, okay? Because basically, all you're doing is you're using the flat plate to take the place of the trough.
Trough, right.
Um, the only thing that you might have to do is up your catalysis a bit. And what I wanted to suggest is instead of running Visco right from the get go, you look at, first of all, just running your, I know it's wasting bottom paper and plastic, but just make sure that the form work on the sides is working well and that the travel on the plastic on the conveyor is working well.
So hold on. By form work on the sides, you mean we have these plates that we use for the plastic. Well, first we are running our plastic
Yep.
from we are running the plastic from underneath the conveyor, not from behind.
Right. Yeah, right. That's okay. That's not a problem.
Okay, good.
Um, have control on the tension.
Yes, we have a tensioner.
Okay, all right, that's great. And you have a bar at the back behind the mix head so that the liquid doesn't go backwards.
No, we only have a roller here. We only have a roller that guides the plastic. We have no bar.
Okay, you might want to, if you can, underneath the plastic, just put a 1 inch pipe across the conveyor so that it creates a dam and the liquid can't run back.
You're talking on top of this flat piece, that flat board here. Would put a 1 inch pipe on
Yeah,
top of the flat board.
yes, yeah, between the flat board and the roller, somewhere in that area.
Okay. But what if
Okay,
you
so that,
could, this board has to be flat? What if you could angle this board at a slight degree?
well, you know, it's going to get conveyed away anyway, and typically it probably has just a very slight slope on it, a 1 or 2 degree slope. But you know, as the paper moves, it's going to pull the liquid away. But if you look at the liquid coming out of the head, you'll see that it will pull behind the head and then come forward. So you want to make sure that you know you've got some sort of a dam that the material won't go back too far. It will always go forward.
But hold on there,
And
John. Hold on 1 second. If we put a pipe,
yeah, that needs to be about a foot or a foot and a half behind the head.
no, I don't have that much space. Look, I have. You're seeing where my mixer is.
Yep.
So we have like 6 inches between where the mixer is and where the roller is for the plastic. There's
Okay,
not
so
much.
you've got nothing there. It's just okay. That's a bit of an issue. So you can't extend that board out further.
Well, we could do some mechanical work, yeah, I guess, and extend it if you want it to come out further.
Yeah, well, I would extend it just a little bit longer, just to be sure that there is some support in that area, that you can put a pipe across there. Okay, so
So
if you were to,
the pipe would go, so the plastic would run on top of the pipe.
yeah, yes, that's right. So that, you know, the pipe is just acting as a weir or a dam to stop the liquid from coming back over the top of your roller where the plastic's being input.
How far back behind the mix head would should the flatboard
I
extend?
would say 12 inches. Yeah, probably just 12 inches would be enough.
Okay, 12 inches.
Yeah, and then in front of the mix head, you need to put another pipe, but that needs to be about 3 feet from the mix head.
No, so hold on there now, John. Get with the tape. From the mix head to where the traverse is how long that pole?
Right?
Go further. How much?
Okay. So
2 feet. So I have
okay.
2 feet as it is now between my mixed head and the brace, the mechanism that hold the traverse.
Right. Okay. I'm just looking at the way it's set up.
Can I
So
give you a side view? You're seeing it? You're seeing it?
yeah, I can see it now. The guy, as one of the guys, got a tape measure there.
Yes, we
If
do
he
have a
can,
tape.
if he can put the tape measure behind the head and just measure out a foot.
Hold on.
Uh,
From
yeah,
behind the head.
yeah, yeah. So at that point, that's where you want to put one pipe.
Yeah, 1 foot from behind the head.
Yeah, behind the head,
Okay,
and then
understand. I understand that.
okay, and in front of the head, you want to put another pipe about 3 foot in front of the head.
So I would have to move where the traverse is at the moment. Because as it is now, as it is set up now, so hold on there, John. Measure the full flatboard first.
Okay.
Hold on there, John.
Yeah. Okay. How long's
Six,
the
5 foot. So my flatboard, that's a flatboard that goes on the fall plate, is 5 foot.
okay.
So as
All
it is
right.
now, give me back the
Yeah.
tape. Measure from. So as it is now, the traverse is 30 inches, 2.5 feet from the fall
Yeah.
plate.
Okay. So that first fall plate is going to be pretty flat.
Oh,
Okay. How flat can you make that first fall plate?
it can. Can try now. Try flatten this and see in line with this. Try flatten the pivot one. Try it up.
Yeah.
Try pivot.
It doesn't have to be the same flatness, but it needs to be up as high as it possibly can, because when the liquid comes out, you want it to hit
Pivot
that
one.
bar spread out.
Hold on. Repeat that, John.
Okay. When the liquid comes out, you want it to be able to hit that weir and spread out before it goes down the four plates.
Oh, so you're saying from my from my mix head, I need a pipe 3 feet in front.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I'm not sure how much spread you'll get with those two outlets, but I'm assuming that you will probably get at least 60 to 70% coverage of the width of your sidewalls.
Right.
Okay. So, what you want to try and do is make sure that all of the liquid is out to the sidewalls before it starts to go down the conveyor,
Understand.
down
So
the
understand.
plates.
Understand. But normally, unlike the machines that you work on before, what is normally the distance between the traverse and the first pivot, the first fall plate?
Uh, okay, well, the issue that they have is that they have a top paper, okay, and there's a
Oh,
top paper that goes down, and that is inserted into the liquid that spreads it.
yes.
Okay, so what you've got to do is the reverse. You've got to get the liquid to lay down and then spread out before it starts to go down the four plates.
Okay.
So basically, what you're trying to do is to create a weir that is going to duplicate what happens in the trough. Okay, you can imagine that the liquid is coming out over the top of the trough and it is already at almost the same width as the
But
conveyor.
John, in your trough, in your trough, your usually your dwell time is usually around about 20 seconds. So you're saying that really from the time the foam leaves the traverse, those pipes, I
Right.
really should need like a 20 seconds before it goes down on the, because as we know, if it goes down on it liquid, it won't work.
Well, that's right. So that's what you've got to try and do. And that's where, the width or the length of that flat plate
But
comes into play.
we can extend this if we need, you know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But okay, we can
And
have a look at that. But
and we could bring back this strap. Oh, but it'll come back too close to that. Oh,
right.
I guess we can't extend it too far.
Now, well, how much space have you got behind there? I know it's going to be difficult to wrap the plastic up and around, but that whole mechanism should probably come back. Um,
Well,
yeah, probably.
we have distance behind, but I'm looking at the mix head and the traverse. I'm looking at the distance
Yeah,
because it is now we have about what it was 2 feet. We have 2 feet between the traverse and the mix head. So I don't know how much
right.
far back I can bring back this traverse.
Okay. Well, that's one option. Um, at the end of the day, if you have an issue, then we can always jack the catalysis up so that the reaction is faster. But we don't want to do that
Yes.
if
No.
there's mechanical alternatives.
Yeah, and then in our environment with hot, humid temperatures outside and stuff, you know that well at least you're not creaming
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah,
trough.
yeah,
They have other issues with that.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
We
I
have an
That's what I.
option to we haven't tested it, but we also have an option to run the plastic from the back, but we have never tried it before. But so the plastic sick part of it is not a real issue. We could possibly
No,
run the plastic from the back.
yeah, or you could just make that whole assembly come out further and move the head back a bit to give you a bit more space. As long as the paper will come up and around and fold. It looks like you've got the side folding mechanism okay,
Yes,
and
we have something that we got from the manufacturer, so this looks okay to me. I mean, we
yeah,
have a thing here that folds it, and it has
yeah,
a thing that holds it down. So I think that is okay.
yeah, and again, with your Travis, I don't know. You might end up getting, the thing to spread all the way out. So, it looks like you can manipulate that any which way you
Yeah,
like.
so
But you
we have limit switches on it that we can adjust down.
right, yeah. So, I don't know. What I would suggest is you look at this first without doing too many changes, and just see, run. Is it? Are you able to run just a block to get it down off the fall plate? Now, how are you going to put your end block
Yeah,
into?
we were just talking about that. We might can make because this is the space we have now. But
Right,
if we're gonna bring the traverse back a bit, as we are suggesting, then we have a little bit more space. So maybe we can get it in, and we have some poles that we use in our current
right.
system. So we're looking
Yeah.
at that. We're looking at a solution to that. But I think once we get the traverse section, then we can come up with a better solution because we want to get that part set first.
Right, right. And that's what you need to do. You need to be able to shut down in the case of an emergency or whatever. And you don't want to be fucking around
No,
trying to get the block.
hold on. Let me show you. Let me show you because we have a button on the conveyor now. Just hold on there, John. I have to walk the length of the conveyor here. I don't know if you use a different shutdown block, but this is how we shut down at the moment. So this is a shutdown. and that's our block.
Yeah, well, that's one way of doing it. A lot of people will just use a board with some poles that they can put in the back of it. There's all sorts
Yeah.
of methods of doing it. But whatever works and whatever is easy to get in and utilize when you're shutting down. Something that size is going to be a bit awkward
Yeah.
to.
So we were thinking that we probably could cut it somewhere, shorten it.
Yeah. Well, what about a board with plastic wrapped around
But
it,
how do
and
you
then
prevent the board? The board sticks onto the poles. How you prevent the board from falling over?
no? Well, what happens is you've got some pipe bosses, okay, and the the pipes that you've got to run and push down with the block as it's going down the conveyor has to be long enough to get down to almost the end of the fall
Fall
plate.
plate. Yeah, we have those pipes now, but they're like, if you know the cones that goes into roll foam, we just tie two of those together. We kind of use like a makeshift
Right,
system like that. But then I think you're talking some pipes that can extend, where you attach them to the board and put it in, and then you extend it as it's going down.
right. Yeah, that's the other way of doing it as well. But the thing is that you've got to have enough room to get a block in behind, the head when you shut
Yes, I
down.
understand. I understand the concept of what we're trying to do. So we look at a couple of things. Um, well,
Yeah,
first, what I think we'll try to do is just sort out this flat board. Try and see how we can sort out this flat board and get it to how you want it. I'll go back and forth with some drawings, and then
yeah, yeah.
I would like to do a startup before you get here, just to make sure that chemical that everything looks okay.
That's as far as coming down, I got a bit of an issue now. I can't get down there until the end of October, which is going to be a pain because we waited this long and then something's come up, so I've got to travel again and I won't be back until later, well, the last week of October.
So you're talking
Um,
about probably early November. You know that time is we are mad busy. So I'm not sure if we'd have to just watch and see how it is going. I'm not sure if we can fit it in. Um,
right.
because we're going to be extremely busy and we'd want a week clean when you're here. No encumbrance.
Well, right, and if even if we did it in the evening or something like that, that didn't interrupt your production time. But I think what you need to do first off is to get yourself set up and have a couple of practice runs before you do anything as far as pouring is concerned, just to make sure that your team is very, very familiar with what they've got to do.
Okay. So I think the first thing from here is for us to work on this board.
Right.
Work on the pipes at the back, work on it. Probably a little drawing would help if you could send us a little drawing. I
Right.
can send you a drawing of what we have as it is now.
Yeah.
And then
Okay, now, before you go too much forward, let's send this to
Glenn,
Glenn and let Glenn critique what we're trying to do as well and see whether we're going in the right direction.
understand. Yes. I'll send this video to him and then we take it from there.
Yeah, I think that's probably the better plan.
Yeah. I
And
agree.
timing wise, you don't have to race to do anything. I know you would probably like to get the Visco out of the road and be
Yeah, but we
comfortable
want
with.
we want to do it the right way, so we have no issue. We have no issue waiting.
Okay, all right. Well, I that's the way I would suggest. I would see if you can move that whole thing back again. Put at least a foot or 2 feet of extension on that board if you've got the space, and then move your Travis back further because you've got a lot of hose there, and that hose is actually adding to the dwell time that would be in the trough.
Yeah, but we can adjust. Okay, okay, understand.
Okay. So,
But
and
if you bring it back, if you bring it back closer to the mix head, you might have to cut the hose because it's going to start to crimp and things like that. Or it won't crimp while you're pouring because of the chemical.
Oh, yeah, what I would do is I would make a saddle up or something and sling that hose so that it's not rubbing against
Yeah, I see they do
the
that.
wall.
Yeah, I see that in the
That
videos.
yeah, free moving, so that it doesn't impede anything.
Okay.
But it looks like you've done a pretty good job there. From what I'm seeing, you've got a lot. You've got some space, but again, I'm not sure whether that's going to be enough. And I would,
You're
before
seeing
you
that
do,
space between. You're seeing that space between the the the, the,
yeah,
the main the main controls, and we have a
yeah,
good 6 feet, 5 feet there, 5.5 feet.
yeah, right. Yeah, so yeah, if you can bring it back a little bit further, about 2 feet, then that'd be great. And that might also save us having to play around with catalysis and things like that. But it looks like you've done a pretty good job, from what I can see there.
Yeah,
The concept, the dual head, that sort of thing. Um, yeah, and that will help give you the spread of liquid across
yeah,
the.
yes.
So you're in pretty good shape, I think.
All right. So then we'll just send the video to Glenn, and then let Glenn critique it, and we'll take it from there. So I won't do nothing until I send the video to Glenn.
Yeah, all right then, mate. Well, let's do it that way. And thanks for your patience. I appreciate it.
And so your
I'm just
patience too.
yeah, I'm kind of embarrassed because I've been waiting and waiting and waiting to come down there. So I missed the mango
But
season.
yeah, I was just going to tell you that you won't get no mangoes that time. Just one and two.
But I'm sure there's other fruit that I can
Always. We have
partake.
tons of fruit, John.
Yeah,
For
yeah,
every
yeah.
season.
Anyway, I'm sure there's good Jamaican beer that I can drink as well.
Yes. We have them
Yeah.
close by.
All right then, mate. Well, anyway, do you have any other questions at the moment
Not
that
really,
we
not
can?
really. Once we send it to John and stuff, then I guess we can communicate via email. And probably
Okay,
do after we set up, we probably do another video call or something and see how it goes. Let's
all
just take
right.
it from
And
here.
uh, okay then, mate. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate it, and I knew that there'd always be a workaround to get it. But this is great. The photography, the way you've got it lined up is pretty obvious, and that'll give Glenn good ideas of the distance from the head. If your mate with the tape measure can just measure off where the head is on this shot to the end of the first fall plate. That looks like it's about 3 feet.
No, it's more than that.
Uh,
From where the head is
it's
to the
more
first fall plate is 5 feet.
okay. And how flat can you make that first fall plate?
Um, yeah, a
Because
long time I go
that's
to that. Oh, flat, you can get this up. Get up number two. Just grab the second one.
and you've only got what 3 or 4 fall
At
plates.
5 fall plates.
5. Okay, all
Yeah.
right. So there should be enough to move it and make it flat. Yeah, what we want to be sure of is that we can manipulate that to move the material so that it doesn't get stuck on the wedge at the bottom and start to split on you up the sides.
Okay.
So, we're going to be playing around with catalysis and full
Fall
plate
plates. Yes,
position
yes. Well, this
to
is
make
coming
sure
very
that.
flat. If you can see it, it's almost flat.
Yeah, yeah. Well, yeah. I would just wait and see what Glenn has to say because he might say that's good enough.
Okay. And we can get it up more. So I think that's not an issue. We can get it pretty flat.
Okay, well, that's good. All right, then, mate. Well, I'll leave you be. And you just tell us when you're going to put this on for Glenn to look at, and we'll hook up again then.
Okay, then, John. Have a good afternoon.
Yeah, you too, mate. Thanks a lot.
Yeah,
Bye
bye.
bye.
Bye. Let me make sure I'm going to get this, I know.